Good evening. Let us chant that mantra and then we will start this gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam Srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. In our last discussion on the 7th, we have already discussed about the incarnation. Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning about the incarnation. This is very important, and there we have seen how in different religion they have dealt with this conception, this idea, incarnation. This incarnation is the power of God. The incarnation, it is coming, the God himself is coming in the form of a human being or many other beings. So that is called incarnation. The God, the Creator, through his inscrutable power, which is known as Maya in Hindu scripture, takes forms. That is called incarnation. That is the belief of the Hindus. God himself is coming, taking the human form. And we will come to that afterwards. But here we find another word, that is Maya. That is also very interesting. This Maya, according to the Shankaracharya, the great exponent of the Vedanta, the ultimate reality, Brahman, or the Supreme Self, who is pure consciousness, the nature of non-dual, became the cause of the universe of multiplicity. So unless we understand these things, we won't be able to understand what is Hinduism. The Hinduism is a vast philosophy, and the religion, the process, the practices, the rituals that we see is only to reach to that excellent knowledge, wonderful knowledge. And knowledge is the ultimate reality, they call it. And they call it the same as Brahman. Though we are very much aware and familiar with this particular word, Brahman. This ultimate reality, Brahman, or the Supreme Self, who is pure consciousness. And this pure consciousness, how it can become so many varieties, multiple existences. Here it says the pure consciousness perceived itself with I consciousness. The step by step, if we see the pure consciousness, which is all pervading and everywhere, this pure consciousness suddenly thinking as I consciousness. This I consciousness means you. So from that I consciousness coming all, aham, I arose in the basis of difference. I became the basis of so many differences. The primal modifications, manifestations of the creative energy of the pure consciousness. The last class we were discussing about the avatar. In the avatara also the God as if taking the form of human being. As if taking the form of human being means what? He is not human being. He is not like us. He is as if taking the form. Like In the dramas, in the movies, we find a person, suddenly a very young man, acting as an old man, as if he is not in reality, but as if he is an old man. So, similarly, that pure consciousness, all-pervading consciousness, becoming I conscious, and the duality begins. One became two, and that two became, in the conception of the human mind, husband and wife. The two became mother and the father, and that also became, in the conception of the Hindus, Shiva and Kali. The pure consciousness and its creative energy. The pure consciousness and its creative energy. Now, we have the consciousness. When that consciousness goes away, we die. Though all the body and everything is there, where the consciousness goes, it goes and merges with the pure consciousness, because these are all reflected consciousness. So, this is the conception of the Hindus. The scripture described that Brahman, the pure consciousness, the absolute reality, all these and the same thing, but so difficult to explain. So, we are going on giving different names. The Brahman, the pure consciousness, was experiencing the bliss. Then there suddenly arose, as if a certain state like deep sleep. When we go to deep sleep, we are not conscious about it, as if the consciousness went into that deep sleep. They are trying to explain. It is so difficult to explain how from one so many millions came. From one, not from two, from one. So, obviously, from one so many came. How it is possible? So, they are trying to, the rishis, they are trying to explain in this way, that as if it went into a deep slumber, enjoying the bliss, that ananda. Then within the mind it came from that state of the Supreme Self, Maya, the elusive power of the Supreme Self was born. From that condition, the Maya was born. This is the Maya, the word Maya, and the nature, Prakriti. Purushan Prakriti, that is the philosophy of the Samkhyas. They had the Prakriti and the Vedantic Maya are different. But in the Shetashatar Upanishad, it says Maya means Prakriti. So, here the Maya, the conception of the Maya is the central pillar of the Vedantic thought. Because Vedanta says this world is illusory. We will come to that. And we will read from the passage of Swami Vivekananda how he is explaining. So, Sri Ramakrishna, he will be talking about the Maya, and before that we are trying to get an idea about this Maya. And Sri Ramakrishna, you know that I was just observing and just going through the back pages, and I found on 29th September 2015, we discussed at length on this Maya. So, I am not repeating those things, and it is in the YouTube, anyone can go and visit. All the descriptions were given, including the scientist words also, like the Professor Capra and all. Now, in the 270 page of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, here we find Sri Ramakrishna is describing. It says, once Hriday brought a bull calf here. Here means in Dakshina Asia. And Hriday, he is a relative. The young man, he came to assist Sri Ramakrishna in the Dakshineshwar, the Hridaya Ram Chattopadhyay. This Hriday brought a bull calf. I saw one day that he had tied it with a rope in the garden so that it might graze there. I asked him, Hriday, his name was Hridaya Ram. Sri Ramakrishna used to call him as Hriday. Hriday, why do you tie the calf there every day? Uncle, he said, I am going to send this calf to our village. From Calcutta, from Dakshineshwar, Hridaya's village is very far away, and in those days there was no other vehicle, only to walking. When it grows strong, I shall yoke it to the plough. As soon as I heard these words, I was stunned to think how inscrutable is the play of the divine Maya. Kamarpukur and Shihor is the main place of this our Hridaya Ram. Still that house is there, Hridaya's house. The Shihor from Kamarpukur is not very far, and so far away from Calcutta. This poor calf must go all that way. Then it will grow, and at length it will be yoked into the plough. This is indeed the world. This is indeed Maya. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, and after thinking this, I fell down unconscious. Why Sri Ramakrishna became unconscious? Because he was thinking, look at this whole world, nothing is going to be permanent. But people take it so seriously, and they are planning everything in such a way that as if they are going to be here all through, permanently. So when we understand this, then if we look back in our lives, so many phases we have already crossed, we have already passed, and we know that in every phase so many different things happened. And every time we thought this is the permanent thing. If I don't get this, I am going to lose it, I am so feel sorry and all that. Then time comes, all changes, everything changes. We see it, observe it, experience it every day, every moment. But still we think we are going to be permanent. So that one question that Dharmaraja was asking Yudhishthira in the Mahabharata, what is Ascharya, whom you call wonder? Then the Yudhishthira said, Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yamamandiram sthira sthiramastanti kimascharjamataparam. Every moment people are dying in this world all around, but those who are surviving, they always think, I am going to survive. Everyone will go. So if we remember that, we can understand everything is going to be changed. Those who first came over here in the construction of this building, sometimes they say, all this was jungle like this. There was nothing, big trees, so many trees. We had to fall, we have to cut these trees, clean this land. Now it is a different shape. God bless it. But maybe one day, again this same place will change. It will be different type, different shape. People will change. Everything will change. It goes on. But when we think it so seriously, then it is called Maya. Where from it came? The unscrutable power of God, and it comes from God itself. So this is called the Maya. Why Sri Ramakrishna felt like that? Swami Vivekananda said, this world has no existence. And this is the difference between the Eastern thought and Western thought. The Western philosophers, the Western thought mainly Even in the culture also, if you see, in the Greek culture, they are always showing exactly photogenic descriptions. When they are painting something exactly as it is. But the Eastern culture, imaginative. If you see there, the eyes are coming out bigger than the mouth. It looks peculiar. But that is the art, that is the culture. Why? Because we can see beyond this body, far beyond. We can see many things. That is the idea when they are drawing. In the words of Vivekananda, he goes on telling like this, and this is called Maya. When it says this world has no existence, what is meant by that? Swami Vivekananda is asking, again explaining, it means that it has no absolute existence. So we have to remember this word, absolute existence. Now it was not having any permanent existence. It exists only in relation to my mind and to the mind of everyone else. When we are thinking, it is existing. When we cannot, then it is not existing. We see this world with 5 senses. But if we had another sense, we would see in it something more. If we had yet another sense, it would appear as something still different. It has therefore no real existence. It has no unchangeable, immovable, infinite existence, nor can it be called non-existence. Again, this is the Maya. It has no existence, permanent existence. But at the same time, we cannot call it as non-existence. Seeing that it exists, we are touching, we are smelling, we are feeling, we are tasting, we are seeing. All these 5 senses, they are experiencing nothing. Is it possible? No. It is there, but temporary there. So what is Maya? It is covering its real nature. What is that real nature? That it is temporary. And after covering that, it is again giving a different idea. What is that? Avaran and Vikshepa. What is that Vikshepa? Giving a totally different idea. What is that? It is permanent. It is covering that it is impermanent, and at the same time it is giving an idea that it is permanent. That is the wrong thing. We find that Maya is not a theory for the explanation of the world. Swamiji is mentioning it. It is simply a statement of fact as they exist, that the very basis of our being is contradiction. That everywhere we have to move through this tremendous contradiction. Wherever there is good, there must also be evil. And wherever there is evil, there must be some good. Wherever there is life, death must follow as its shadow. And everyone who smiles will have to weep, and vice versa. So this is the contradiction all through our life we find. That is why Sri Ramakrishna, he fell unconscious when he saw that Hriday staying with him for such a long time, 19 years. Hriday Ram gave the service to Sri Ramakrishna, but learned nothing. So that is the thing, when we go and have that company of the holy people, we must also learn from them. What is that? That this world is temporary, life is temporary. There is something must be permanent. We must strive for that. Now, can this state of things be redeemed, we may verily imagine that there will be a place where there will be only good and no evil, where we shall only smile and never weep. This is impossible in the very nature of things, for the conditions will remain the same. Wherever there is the power of producing a smile in us, there lurks the power of producing tears. Wherever there is the power of producing happiness, there remains somewhere the power of making us miserable. So this is what Swami Vivekananda he is mentioning. This Maya is not real, since it disappears on the dawn of knowledge of the Brahman. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also said this, that in olden days there was not much of entertainment. Some people, they had the capacity to dress in such a way, changing their own personality in a different way. They used to come to the villages and they used to act like that. They changed their voice, etc. People used to enjoy. That was the entertainment. They used to call themselves Bahurupi. Bahu means many, Rupi means form. Different forms they themselves used to put on and go to the villages, entertain the people. Now, when they are coming in the form of a king, or maybe a dacoit, maybe or something else, the simple-minded people sometimes they used to take it seriously, and they used to feel in that way. But someone suddenly, oh no, there was a person named Sri Dama. This is Sri Dama Bahurupi. The name of this person is Sri Dam. Immediately, whatever the dress and the cover he took, it breaks. Original person comes. So similarly, this Maya also, when we are going on concentrating, meditating on the image of God, praying, slowly, our mind becomes totally free from all this illusion. Then only one thing remains, and that is consciousness. That is the joy, that is the eternity. And all other things, they go away, and mind becomes totally full of joy and no pain at all. Why? I am eternal. I am not going to change anything anywhere. And we find over here that Maya is not real, since it disappears on the dawn of knowledge. Maya is equated with nature, or the visible universe consisting of the three modes of energy. One is sattva, or the harmony, another rajas, or activity, another tamas, the inertia. Maya is the inscrutable cause which depends on the Supreme Self, which is the ultimate reality. Now there is an objection. They say, you say the Maya is an illusion. You say the Maya is not existing. Then the objection is coming, as for Maya, it is invisible. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it. Then it is invisible, not experienced by the senses. How can it produce a thing that is visible? That means we can experience through our senses. You say that God created this universe through the power of Maya. If it is so, the Maya, which you cannot feel with the senses, you cannot see, you cannot touch, you cannot smell, you cannot taste, in that case, how that can produce a permanent thing? I mean, existing thing which I can see, I can touch. Then it says, the reply, it says that a person in a sleep, he saw that the tiger is chasing him. When he was sleeping, He was lying on the bed comfortably within his room, only he was dreaming. When he was dreaming, he saw a tiger chasing him. And that became so real for him in the dream itself that he sweated. Then when he woke up, he saw that his whole, that garment with which he was sleeping, all the marks of that sweat is there. It is there. I can see. But where from it came? From the tiger, because of the fear of the tiger. Where is the tiger? It is in dream. Where is the dream? It doesn't exist. So similarly, the Vedantin, they prove in this way, it is not existing Maya, but at the same time it has the power to create in such a way that you feel that it is true, as the person who was seeing the tiger chasing was true to him in that particular moment. So when we get up, we find that everything all over is nothing but the consciousness. And here in the Shetashatara Upanishad, the 4th chapter, 10th mantra, it says, Mayam tu prakritim vidyat, Mayincha Maheshwaram. Maya and Mayin, 2 words, it is used here in the Upanishad. Mayam tu prakritim, prakriti means the nature, vidyat, you must know, and Mayin, the master of that prakriti, Maheshwaram, he is the supreme God. Maha Ishwara, Maheshwara, the supreme God, that means the Brahman, out of which everything has come. Now these 2 words they are using, that is called the Maya, and that means the Prakriti, and also the master, utilizing that power and the master are same. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in his own excellent way, he is giving the example, the fire and the burning capacity of the fire are inseparable. You cannot separate the burning capacity of the fire from a fire. Yathagni dahika shakti. When you offer pranam to Ma Sharadamani Devi, we say like this, Yatha Agni Dahika Shakti. When in that fire the burning capacity is there, similarly in Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada remains. How? As the God and his inscrutable power. This Maha Maya, this is the another concept, and now that God, the supreme God, who was all alone, one, pure consciousness, as if thought, I want to be many. So the Hindus believe from that thought only everything has been created. And when the creation came, it became the responsibility for the God also to maintain that and to maintain properly, guiding them to come to the truth. There are 2 things. One is the truth, which is hidden behind the untruth. Who has created the untruth? God. Now, what he wants, we should realize by breaking this untruth, removing the untruth, and we should go towards him, which is the truth, the permanent peace, happiness, everything. And when he sees that, many of us, we cannot do that. Rather, we take it in a different way. We accept which is wrong, then it becomes difficult for him to remain in that form. So he comes, and taking the human form, he becomes the avatara. Then sometimes in our villages, the scientists, they come And they like to teach the villagers, simple-minded villagers, that if you are drinking, it is so bad because it will kill you. How you know? Then they will keep the wine in one glass and they will put some worm in that, and immediately it dies, worms dying. Then they will ask the villagers, hey, what you have learned from this experiment? Then one, he raised his hand and stood up and said, sir, everyone should drink wine. Oh, what is it? We have come for what? We say, no. This teaches that whatever germ is there inside us, if we drink wine, it is dead, so we will remain good. So everyone. Now, this is the problem with the God. The God wanted to teach us that all that you see is beautiful, attractive, but temporary. If you are giving the mind in these, then you will suffer. So, you better turn your mind and come to me. So, that is his teaching. We are understanding in a different way. We are accepting these as permanent and doing so many things, all the movies, all the dramas based on these only. And people, they are trying to grab the property and the wealth and these and that. Countries fighting with the countries. Why? To grab these. What? This land. And what it is going to happen? It is so temporary. But still we cannot understand. We are ready to kill thousands, millions, and spending millions of dollars to develop destructive things. By that we can destroy the whole nation. Why? We should capture this land. After capturing the land, what happens? Everything goes away. So that is the Maya, inscrutable power of Maya. So the God comes and in order to bring people spiritual knowledge. This one is body, gross, another is spirit. So spiritual knowledge. Out of this body, it goes to the spirit. This is called the spiritual knowledge. So that exactly what happened in the case. And then we find that Sri Ma, he is mentioning one wonderful discussion with him. Sri Ramakrishna did. Master and Ma, that is the chapter. Here it says, it was August 19, 1883. Master Moshe giving a description. It was Sunday, the fast day after the full moon. Sri Ramakrishna was resting after his noon meal. Why he is mentioning this? Because afterwards the people can see, they can check the almanac. It says that August 19, 1883, whether it was the next day of the full moon, they can understand that. And immediately they will know that this was truth. It was the noon, and so after the meal, midday meal, Sri Ramakrishna was taking little rest. And he had the habit of taking little rest, and immediately he used to come up and talk with the people, because for that is the reason the God has taken the human form. So he was never tired of giving the instructions to the people, particularly those who were open-minded and was eager to learn about the spiritual knowledge. So Sri Ramakrishna, he saw him, Master Mahashaya, who was noting all the conversation. He was sitting over there. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, self-knowledge is discussed in the Ashtabhakra Samhita. Ashtabhakra Samhita, Sri Ramakrishna, we all know, those who have read the biography. He never attended the schools. But you see, Ashtabhakra Samhita is the Vedantic book. It speaks about high Vedanta philosophy. Very few people, they go through the pages of the Ashtavakra Samhita. But Sri Ramakrishna knew. Why? He knew that the Ashtavakra Samhita speaks about the self-knowledge, that is Brahman. The non-dualists say, Soham. Aim, Master Mahashaya, he was an educated person. And in those days, the most of the people, they used to follow mainly this Vedanta. Why? Because then they could avoid the image worships. Because the Britishers, they spreaded this type of the idea that how the God can enter into the images. The Hindus were confused. And the leaders of the Hindus, they were not ready to give the answer. And that was a confusing period. So most of the educated Hindu, they started thinking that Hinduism without the images. So Im also used to subscribe to that idea. So Sri Ramakrishna was asking him that, what is your idea? I like this, without form. God without form. That's good. Once he said. Now we have seen that previous day Sri Ramakrishna told, may I tell you one thing? Don't disbelieve the forms of God. Don't disbelieve the forms of God, he said to him. Today again he has picked up conversation with him, and the first thing he is telling that self-knowledge is discussed in the Ashtavakra Samhita. Non-dualist, that means those who say God is only one and without any second, no duality, non-dualists say, so aham, I am that. They say there is only one, there cannot be two. Then who am I? If God is separate and then I am separate, then that means it is two, the duality. Soham, they say, Soham, I am that. So it is only one. I am the Supreme Self. This is the view of the sannyasins of the Vedantic school. Sri Ramakrishna was so thorough. There is no mistake in it. But this is not the right attitude for the householders. Sri Ma, he was a householder, a married person having the children, the responsibility to look after the family. And he was thinking the God without form and I am that, etc., etc. Sri Ramakrishna was, see, that is the reason, the incarnation of God to guide the disciples, to guide the aspirants in a proper way. What do you want? Just to go and telling in the world that I believe in Vedanta, Vedanta is the highest philosophy? Or you really want to know God, you really want to develop yourself in spirituality, in that you must concentrate on those ideas which will help you. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, this is for the sannyasins. They don't have any responsibility in this world. They can say, I am that, and they can remain in that. But how about you, the householder? You have your children. You have to work somewhere. You have to earn money. You have to feed them. You have to maintain your family. You should not say that. That's why he is telling. But this is not the right attitude for householders who are conscious of doing everything themselves. That being so, how can they declare, I am that? The actionless Supreme Self? You cannot say like that. According to the non-dualist, the Self is unattached. The good and bad, virtue and vice, and the other pairs of opposite cannot in any way injure the Self, though they undoubtedly afflict those who have identified themselves with their bodies. We have seen very recently Raman Maharshi. This Raman Maharshi, He was not affected by anything. With the hundreds of ants biting his body, he was observing quietly. Swami, are you not feeling pain? I am not feeling pain because they are biting the body. Why should I feel the pain? That is the idea. When you say the non-dualist, I don't belong to this body. I am the Atman, I am the consciousness. I don't feel anything in this. I am not elated, I am not dejected, I am not happy, I am not sad. So that totally going beyond is not so easy for, and particularly not easy for all people. So it says in that way, smoke soils the wall. Sri Ramakrishna giving an example. Smoke soils the wall, certainly, but it cannot in any way affect Akasha, the space. Following the Vedantins of this class, Krishna Kishore used to say, now he is giving an example. Krishna Kishore is the name of a person who used to come to Sri Ramakrishna and he used to brag that I am a Vedantin and non-dualist and I am Ka. Ka means the Akasha. Ka means the space. That means I don't have any form. The Krishna Kishore used to say like that. I am Ka. That in Bengali and Sanskrit also, Devanagari, the second letter, Ka, Ka. This Ka means Akasha, meaning Akasha. Being a great devotee, he could say that with some justification, but it is not becoming for others to do so. All cannot say like that. Even in the Krishna Kishore, afterwards here in the Gospel you will read that in one place or maybe in the biography, the Krishna Kishore took some money from some people and then afterwards he was not able to pay it. They went to the court. Court gave that verdict, you can sell his own property and give the money back to those people. So naturally the government people came and they were assessing and they were on that process selling out all the properties of the Krishna Kishore. Then Krishna Kishore was crying. They are taking out everything, my house, my utensils, my this, my that. At that time Sri Ramakrishna told, but why you are crying? They are taking the house. That don't belong to you. You are the Ka. You are the Akasha. You are unaffected. He said, no, that I used to say, but now I am affected. So that is why when we feel like that, we have no reason to say that we are the followers of the non-dualist. So it goes in this way, but to feel that one is a free soul is very good. Sri Ramakrishna is giving this. By constantly repeating, I am free, a man verily becomes free. This is a wonderful teaching. I am free. I am not bound by anything. How can I be? Because when I see that nothing can bind me, whatever I was having, I am giving it away. I have already given it. I don't have anything. Why should I feel pain when I am leaving this body? So by that I am free, I am free, I am free. That is a mantra Sri Ramakrishna is teaching, and then a person becomes totally free. And those who repeat, Sri Ramakrishna said, I am bound, they certainly becomes bound to worldliness. The fool who says only I am a sinner, verily drowns himself in the worldliness. The most of there's a Vaishnava Vinaya, they say. Vinaya means the humbleness. The Vaishnava is supposed to become humble. Why? By seeing God in everything, they should be humble. But they think in a different way. They are not humble in reality, but they like to show it. And that is why the word coined Vaishnava Vinaya. Everyone is constantly, no, you are fast, you are fast. and then the jokes came when the electric train came in the India, and naturally previously people used to travel in a very slow moving trains. Now this electric came, it is faster than that. The jokes came. The moment you miss, immediately it reaches the next station, you are missing. So two persons, they came separately, they wanted to enter into that train, but when they saw each other, they said, "Oh sir, you are fast, aap pehle, you are fast, you must enter, after you." He said, "No, no, 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 you are my senior, you must fast." So when they were going up pehle, you go first, then the train moved away and there was nothing. So like that, unnecessary, when the practical things we miss, we are not understanding the practical thing, then we are not understanding the religion. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "I have chanted the name of God, how can I be a sinner?" That is the courage. Religion gives courage. I have taken the name of God, I have chanted the name of God, who is pure consciousness, who is the creator of this universe. How can I be so weak? I am not weak. So that is the strength. How can I be bound? That is the strength. Constantly, if we go on taking the name of God, and again he is telling to the aim, you see, I am very much depressed today. Now, after giving this high teaching, he is little coming down because he is an avatar. Avatar behaving just like an ordinary man, just like an ordinary person. So immediately after that, we find that Sri Ramakrishna, how he could simply, without mentioning it, he could stay, but no hypocrisy. He is giving it as it is. He had that wonderful knowledge, constantly that knowledge was there. He was aware that he was God himself, not bound by anything, not affected by anything. But here he has taken the human form, so he is showing that limitations of the human body, and he was telling to aim his disciple again, you see, I am very depressed. He is supposed to be beyond happiness and this, so depressed. Why? Hriday has written me that he is very ill. Why should I feel dejected about it? Is it because of Maya or Daya? He is asking to him. Now, the master, he was giving the teaching to the disciple, and to take the test how far he has understood him, he is taking this test. See, today I am not very happy. Why? Because my nephew, he has written to me that he is not well, so I am depressed. Immediately he was asking, is this Maya or Daya? Because he explained to him before, and here also he will explain, if you are feeling attracted to your own people, only to your own people, it is Maya which binds. But if you feel that same feeling for each and everybody, that is Daya, and that is the divine power. He is telling, do you know what Maya is? He is explaining again. It is attachment to relatives, parents, brother, sister, wife, children, nephew, niece, all this attachment. And Daya means love for all created being. Now, what is this? My feeling about Hriday, is this Maya or Daya? He is asking again, explaining the thing to him. But Hriday did so much for me. Now he is explaining about Hriday, giving the clues to the Master Mahasaya before answer. Hriday did so much for me. Hriday served 19 years continuously. He served me wholeheartedly, nursed me when I was ill. But later he tormented me also. the torment became so unbearable that once I was about to commit suicide by jumping into the Ganges from the top of the embankment. Those who have read the biography, they know. So Hriday used to insult him so much and so much. He was serving, he served. When afterwards he became egoistic, thinking that all big people they used to come to meet Sri Ramakrishna. So before going to Sri Ramakrishna, they used to go to his assistant naturally, all the time available at the door. And he used to take that pride, no, you cannot meet the master now, or wait, come some other day. He used to take that pride. And when Sri Ramakrishna used to take his own decision, he used to say, you cannot do that, I must say that, then only you can do. See what happened that way when he was serving the God himself in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. If he only could understand that, he could get liberation. We do not know, of course, because this is all the play that they were playing. His part was that he was playing. But apparently we can say he was away from the God because of the ego that developed within him, that I am serving him and that is why he is surviving. It happened in this way, that one brahmachari was coming down after completing his meditation, and Turiyanandaji, he used to serve Turiyanandaji personally by serving the food, washing the clothing and all that, cleaning his room. That was the service he used to give to the Turiyananda. Turiyanandaji saw him coming down, and suddenly he got up and started rebuking him, very strong language. And the brahmachari was taken aback and he was thinking, why Swamiji is so angry with me? Other Swamis who were sitting with Turiyanandaji, they were also not understanding what happened to him. The Swami Turiyanandaji, he was otherwise so gentle, courteous. Now the brahmachari went, Turiyanandaji also became quiet. He sat. Then the other brother monks, they asked, what happened to you? Why you were scolding that brahmachari? He didn't do anything wrong. After his meditation in the morning, he was coming down. The brahmachari, I didn't say anything to him. Turiyanandaji was telling, I was driving away a bad soul which tried to enter into him. It was at his back of the brahmachari, he tried to enter into him. I noticed it and I drove him away so that he should not disturb the brahmachari. And what service he is giving to me? A little physical service? I am serving him by saving his spirit. So that is exactly what Sri Ramakrishna, he was serving by giving these instructions, ideas, constantly, every moment, showing his own life's example. But people, they were so close. Physically, they were serving Sri Ramakrishna, but still, unfortunately, particularly in the case of Hriday Ram, could not understand that. At 2 or 3 o'clock afternoon, Adarshen and Balaram arrived. Sri Mai is mentioning, and Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about Hriday Ram and also lamented, now my mind will be at rest if he gets some money, because a poor man is a Brahmin, he was not having money, so how he will support his family and also for his own treatment. So Sri Ramakrishna was thinking to support him with some money, but where from Sri Ramakrishna will get? Of course, if he said that to Mathur Babu or the rich disciples, immediately the problem would have been solved. But he never mentioned, and he said, now my mind will be at rest if he gets some money, but whom shall I ask for it? He was mentioning it to Master Mahasaya, who was a humble teacher. And in those days, teachers used to get very humble salaries. but he never mentioned it to Adarsen. Adarsen was deputy magistrate. He used to earn a lot of money. Then the Balaram Bose, he was the landlord. He didn't mention this to, because the moment they will hear, they will be so happy to send some money to Hriday. Sri Ramakrishna didn't mention that, because he never begged for this way. Then Sri Ramakrishna mentioned, and we will conclude, the thing is that everyone must reap the result of his past karma. The past karma, one must admit the influence of tendencies inherited from past births and result of the prarabdha karma. He is mentioning about prarabdha. Nevertheless, in that dilapidated house, I saw the face of the goddess radiating a divine light. One must believe in the divine presence in the image. One must believe in the divine presence in the image. So that is the next. Again we will read from the passages. Now this karma phala, we have already done something in our past, and so all these things are happening. This is a vast subject. We may discuss in our next class about this karma phala. Now Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about the prarabdha karma. Prarabdha, purva arabdha. That means in the past we have done something. Now we are actually enjoying or suffering those karmas. That is called prarabdha. But in the Hindu scripture they say we are having three bags about the karma. One is agami. Agami means due. This due, the bag that I am carrying, and whatever work I am doing in this life, present life, the result is going into that bag and now sitting over there. Another bag full is there, it is not open, it has not been opened yet, and that is called sanchit. And sanchit means, we all know, we have already collected, kept in that, and the zipper is tight, we have not opened it. In our next life maybe that zipper will open, all things will start coming out, and that will be termed as prarabdha. And prarabdha is this one. Now in the magazine, so many bullets are there. All those bullets that we can call sanchit. It is all stored but not used. Now I have just fired, it pushed the trigger, one bullet went out, that is called prarabdha. It has already gone out, I cannot control it. I don't have any control over that particular bullet which has already been fired from the gun. But in my bag there are other bullets, so which in different pockets, wherever I am getting the supply of the ammunition, I am keeping over there, and that is called agami. So agami, sanchit and prarabdha. If possible, in our next class we will discuss about that. Let us conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you for coming.